going here. Let's view.
Okay, so you are now live. Have a good day.
Thank you. Hey, Keeks. Oh, I teach, okay. How about your own teach? Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Started here in a half a second. I was just connecting my mouse to my iPad because actually, you know what? Never mind. I got it. Okay. How's everybody?
Great.
Good, great.
Yeah, I'm like, my computer like died this over the weekend, and unfortunately, I have a couple computers, thank God. But yeah, my computer died. It was not good. Hello, hello, hello. How many people are here? Hi, Cynthia.
Maybe she's muted.
Yeah, if everybody could just unmute for just a moment, just so I can say hi and you can say hi to me and tell me where you're from. Salwa?
Houston.
Houston.
Texas. Yeah.
Cynthia?
Fernandina Beach, Florida.
I've learned more little towns in Florida since being on Get Set Up than I can imagine. Somebody's on, or just it's named Mick or Mike. I'm not sure what that is.
Maryland.
Oh, Maryland. Okay. Judith. Hello. Are you on mute, Judith? I don't think so. There you are. Hi. Oh, you're Kit.
Yep, I'm from Milwaukee.
Do you go by Kit or do you go by Judith?
Kit,
That's adorable.
but
Okay.
I'm from Milwaukee.
Hi, and Phyllis? Want to unmute Phyllis? You can say hi. Well, we'll move to Hank while she works on that. Hi, Hank.
Hi, I'm from Jacksonville, Florida.
So many Floridians. Do you all stay there in the summer, or is that like you go somewhere else?
No, we stay here. I stay here.
You
I
stay.
stay here.
Nice. Okay. So a few housekeeping details before we get started too much. As you guys know, Get Set Up is an organization that takes older adults, more experienced adults, and teaches other more experienced adults things that we might know a little bit better and that you guys are interested in learning. We do not get any rewards or anything from anything we promote, and we're just really excited that you're here. We're a really special community of learners, and the fact that you guys are here shows me that you want to learn about this, so I know I have a great audience. I'm happy you're here. We're going to learn all kinds of great things. We I am Wendy Miller. I'm from Colorado. Right now, it has been the grayest it's ever been in Colorado for we had sun yesterday. Prior to that, we had like 5 days of gray. It's not typical. And I don't do well in the gray. But my background actually is in pediatrics. I was a pediatric PA for many, many years and then switched over to technology because that's my other bent. And I went to work for Apple for a while, stole all their secrets, and then opened my own computer, not software, consulting company, and teaching people like you all about anything Apple. And here I am today teaching you all about Apple products. And we have James, he's here from tech support. So he's our TA. If you guys have any questions, anything that you maybe want answered immediately that I might not be able to get to, please let us know either in the chat room or by just doing the little hand motion if you know where that is in the reactions. Let me just shut my door. Do all of you know how to do the reactions on Zoom?
Yes.
Okay, it's down at the bottom bar, and it gives you options. Judith or Kit, you have a question?
No,
Nope, you don't. Okay. Oh, Judith has a question. You have to unmute. You always have to unmute when you're talking to me. That's sort of a no. Well, if you come back, Judith, and you have a question, you'll let us know. So I'm going to share several screens with you today. So I'm going to get started and share the first screen with you. Okay. So give me a second to do that. Okay. So let's get that in a mode that you don't have to see the whole world here. And give me just a second while that's loading. Okay. So here we go. So you should be able to see my iPad or an iPad. Whoa! I honest to God, I'm not touching anything. I have like ghosts that move things. So this is an iPad. You're in iPad Basics class. We're going to be very basic in our tour today. The way I like to teach is I like to teach for a little bit, show you some things, make sure you heard it, make sure you learned it, and make sure you got it. So this is very important for me that you learn what I teach you. So if you didn't get it, please ask. You can ask the same question as someone else. I don't care. It's important to me that your time is valued by my teaching you. So with that, we are going to move right along. I have already told you a little bit about me, but I will tell you that I teach a lot of different classes at Get Set Up. I teach health and wellness classes. I teach a lot of tech classes, and it's really my pleasure to teach you guys. So also, we do learn from each other. You know, I've had groups of learners that have helped other learners do things because they know how to do it a different way. And I love that. So always, if I'm teaching you something, but you're like, you know, I know how to do it this way and it's easy for me, please share, because oftentimes I know the way I do it, but you've learned a different way, and I would be happy to have you share that. Judith, did you have a question?
No, I'm sorry.
That's okay. Just you had your hand up. So you had your little hand up. So, okay. So we're going to start, like I said, from the beginning of an iPad, just to make sure you understand the outside before we move inside. Just as a reference for all of you, if you could just, with your thumbs up to me, have you used your iPad before? A little bit. Thumbs up?
Yeah. Yes.
A little bit. A little bit. Okay. So Kit has not. That's totally cool. So let me just tell you something. If this class feels too basic for you when we're done, you should probably register for my intermediate class. This class is really a strong introduction. If we have time, depending upon learner like activity, how you guys are doing, we can move on to more important things, but just want to make sure you get it from the very beginning. So So we're going to start here, and we're going to look at number 1. That's our home button. It lives right above the port of your iPad. Okay? Super important to know that button, because I will tell you to go home frequently, and it's just the way to actually bring your iPad back to its main screen. If you have a really new iPad, like iPad Pro or a really new iPad, that button that little indentation number 1 will not be there. It will be on the screen. It will be living actually on the screen. So that's hard. Number 2 is the port for charging. It only charges if you're connected and you are using the right charger. So make sure you're using the little bit bigger charger than your iPhone charger. Not good to charge your iPad with an iPhone charger. It's just not good for the operating system. So as you know, what I had it here, the iPhone charger is just a little tiny square box, and the iPad charger is much bigger. It's about 2 by 2. So make sure you don't confuse those, and make sure that you charge appropriately with the right box. You can use the same wire, so the same cord. Number 3, you don't need to know about, except that it's your speakers. So anytime you're speaking or volume is coming to you, that's where it's coming from. Number 4, that's your on-off button and your sleep-wake button. The reason number 4 is important is because our iPads go to sleep after a certain number of minutes or an hour, whatever it's set at, and you have to turn it back on when or wake it up. You can wake it up either by tapping number 4, or by touching the screen in the middle, or by touching your home button. Any of those will wake your iPad up. But to put your iPad to close it, like completely close it for the night, say goodnight, let it get recharged, you have to hold number 4 down for about, 4 or 5 seconds until you see a bar come up that says power off. You will slide that bar, and that's how you power it off. I recommend doing that at night, because even though the sleep position of the iPad takes very little battery, it still does take battery. And I don't know, my iPad's pretty old, so the battery is not great. I do suggest charging your iPad at night. So that's about that. Number 5 and 6 are your volume up and down. So again, any volume that is going in or out, depending, that is where you control that. There are other ways to control your volume as well. There's like 3 or 4 different ways always to do something on an Apple device, but there's usually a physical like button, which that is number 5, and there's also something on the inside of the iPad, the way when we're learning it. Number 7 is your headphone jack. So if you are listening to something on your iPad through headphones that are connected, that are wired, that's where you plug it in. Number 7. And number 8 is just your camera. You don't need to know anything about it. It's how, if you're on your iPad right now, it's how you're looking at me. If you're on a FaceTime call, that's what you do. If there is any way for you to take this class on another device and then have your iPad near you so you can do the actions along with me, great. If not, maybe next time you can learn it on a computer. It's, I don't want you to just ever do audio on this class, because the video part of it is 3/4 of the class. So if you don't have another device, don't worry about it. You're just going to follow along with me, and then you're going to practice and show me how great you are the next week. All right. We are going to talk today. Apple has its own terminology, language, so to speak. Some of it is very similar to other computer systems, but knowing Apple terminology is important. As I go through and I use new terminology, I will explain it. If you don't understand something that I said, please ask me, because it's basically like speaking another language if you don't know what it means, right? So we were not born with these devices in our cribs. We had to learn them. We have to learn their language. So again, if I say to do something, or go somewhere or, something, make sure that if I haven't explained it to you, that you say, Wendy, stop, time out. These are just some of them that we will go to. Okay, I'm actually going to stop this screen share and I'm going to actually share my physical iPad with you so that we can work directly off of that. Give me 1 second to make sure that I'm still on my Let's View. Here we go. All right, so we're going to do Let's View. Maybe. Give me 1 second. What happened here to my Let's View? It's up there. Screen share. Okay, there we go. Okay, it is, I think it's right here. Okay, there we go. So you guys should see my iPad. Do you see it? Got a thumbs up or no? You don't see it. Okay. Yeah, I can see it. Oh, it is? You can see it? You can see it. It says Let's View at the top.
Yes.
It's so strange because normally screen sharing does like a green box around things, and there's no green box, so I'm a little lost. Okay, so this is my iPad. I have my iPad turned horizontally. I find that it works better for me, but please feel comfortable to turn it the other direction. It will not change things at all. So now that we've learned kind of on what's on the outside, we're going to go inside just to review. Take my little paintbrush and show you some things. Up here top left, you're not going to see Let's View on your iPad, guys. That's the software I am using to share my screen with you. So you're not going to see that. You are going to see the time and the date. Okay? And that is always going to be there. And then what's over here on the right, you're going to have some bars if you have a cellular iPad. Okay? If you don't have a cellular iPad, you will not see those bars. It's just like on your phone. If you are connected to the internet, either taking this class or other, you will see this little, it's like a half fan. If it is white, fully white, then you are connected. If it is not, you are not connected. The next two things I'm not going to really share at the moment, only because one is for me, I have the moon on, so my iPad doesn't go to sleep on you. And the other is for airplane, if you want to share your iPad to like a TV or to your computer or something like that. The next part is important. That's the percentage of your battery. And it's important that you make sure when you're charging, you see the lightning bolt. If you don't see the lightning bolt in a little green box, then it is not charging. All right. Okay. This is the first page of your iPad. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. This is the first page of your iPad. Your iPad has many pages. It's like a book, okay? I like to think of this page as the cover, and then there are other pages on the inside. Couple things to know about the iPad. Your finger is your mouse. Your finger is your cursor, okay? So a lot of the iPad is just practicing the technique and the weight and the feel and everything with your finger. So much of iPad is dependent upon the ability to really be comfortable using your finger on your iPad, okay? So having said that, this is language, this is computer language, scrolling. Scrolling is like, it means that you're like taking an eraser on the chalkboard and you're erasing it, okay? So you can scroll left, you can scroll right. I'm going to scroll from my right to my left to another page on my iPad. Your iPad, it will do it in a second, it's a little teeny bit delayed. Your iPad has unlimited pages. So you can keep a lot of apps on your pages. We're going to talk about that in a minute. But the scrolling motion is really just a scrolling motion. You're not pressing hard, you're just scrolling. You can do it with 2 fingers, you can do it with 1 finger. It's just that it's really important that you scroll and not, drag and drop. That's another action. All right.
Okay.
Does anybody have a question? Okay, beautiful. All right, so we've learned that that's scrolling, and we've learned this is our home page. I like to think of this page, like I said, as the cover of my book. Right down here, this is really important. This is something called your dock. Okay, what lives on your dock is basically what lives on your desktop at where your computer is. It's enough things that you have, your glasses, your mouse, your glass of water, but you don't have everything. Okay, so it's important to know that your dock has applications that you use frequently. You can put multiple applications on your dock. Applications are like books, okay? Basically, in order to have that application, if it's not preloaded, you have to go somewhere to the App Store, to another store, and check that out. You have to, like checking a book out of the library, you have to check it out, you have to download it, and you have to have it on your, desk or dock or something so that you can use it. So we'll get into that when we talk about the App Store, but your dock has applications. Again, I keep different things on here, but I keep my mail, my calendar. I don't know why Maps is there. I'm actually gonna move it off of there because I don't want it there. I'm gonna do something with it later for you guys. Okay, so I just moved it off. I keep my browser Chrome. I usually don't have Safari there. I'm not really sure why it's there, but it's there. Okay, so these are the applications that I use most frequently. These three guys are applications that I have recently opened. They will fluctuate depending upon applications that you have recently opened. They will live both on your dock as well as on your screen, on one of your pages. Maybe not your home page, maybe another page, but they will live there as well. Okay, they're really just a temporary holding zone in case you worked on it. It's not something you want to keep there because you use it frequently, but for this particular day, this particular exercise, you're using it frequently. Okay, so let's see. Oh, I just want to answer this question before I move on. I'm about to purchase a new iPhone and laptop. Why and if I want an iPad? iPads are basically the bridge between a phone and a computer. Depending upon the functions that you want, an iPad is more portable. It's bigger, obviously bigger than a phone, but smaller and less weighty than a computer. It's very, it's just very portable, right? So I'm just looking at, James, do you need to be co-host? I'm so sorry, I'm not paying attention to you. I am so sorry. Let me make him co-host. Okay, hold on a second. Okay, there we go. Okay, so the answer is, yeah, do you need an iPad? I don't know if you need an iPad. You might want to watch this class and see if you need an iPad. People love iPads because they are so portable. The newer iPads literally function like a little computer. They have their own operating system, but they are like a little computer, and they're wonderful. Okay, so there is something that is really important that we look at when we're on our iPad, and that is something called settings, okay? Settings lives here. If I tap settings, I just tapped it, something will open. Okay, now what opened was this window. If I scroll, I'm going to scroll up. You can see this window has a lot of options. The options on this window allow you to customize your iPad to the way you want it to work and look for you. There's also some very important information on this particular page that will help us be more productive on our iPad. Does someone have their question up or their hand up, or is that old? I think that's old. Okay. If you have a question, please, please, please let me know. So one of the most important pieces of information that I want to share with you on settings is this. I am going to tap it and I'm going to show you what is in there and why it's important. I just tapped it. All right. It now has my name, and underneath it, it has my Apple ID. Your Apple ID is yours. It is an email address that you have at some point set up or you will set up. It does not have to be an active email address. I set this up 20 years ago and it had a different name, but as Apple, it was like, I don't know what it was, iCloud, Apple ID, I don't know, I don't know what it was. But as Apple got more sophisticated, they actually changed it. Anyway, it is imperative that you know your Apple ID and your Apple ID password. I will put in the chat room and in the notes following this class, Apple support number if you can't find either. The reason you need them is because it's the key to your world of Apple. It's the key to application downloading. It's the key to iCloud storage. It's the key to sharing. And it's actually the most security, it's so important that you have it because it requires that your Apple ID and password to get past the first security barrier in anything you do with Apple. If you cannot remember your Apple ID, you need to search. You need to go back to the depths of your computer world. It's always an email address. You will find it. But if you don't know it, do not let them set you up with a new one. Try your best to find it because it's like having two social security numbers. It literally will make your world with Apple crazy. They like to sometimes give you a new Apple ID because it's a good, I succeeded, and they hang up. Please don't let them do that. A new password is fine. Okay, so Apple ID and password. I'm now going to show you a couple really important things on this page. All right, I'm going to tap name, phone numbers, and email. And you're going to see what's going to come up. What's going to come up is what my password is. I can't do anything on this iPad until I know my password. I know my password, so I'm going to type it in. Hold on. Okay, so I know my password, so that's great. So now it's going to spin and it's going to show me my name. It's going to show me information about me because I have set this up. What is really important is that if you are unable to connect your messages or your, or FaceTime, the reason being is because this number, this information right here is either not entered or entered improperly. That's a later lesson, but just so you know it. Apple does something really great called a backward arrow. You will see the backward arrow every opportunity that Apple has to go back to a previous page. When there are no more pages in that chapter of that particular application, you can't go backwards anymore. If I tap it, it took me back to that page, right? So now there's no more to go backward, but I can go to password and security. When I go there, it already accepted my password from before. If it's wrong, you can try to change it here, but it might not work. Sometimes it will give you 3 chances and then boot you out. If that happens, you call Apple ID. A lot of times what they're doing now is in order to validate who you are and verify your number, they will send a confirmation to another Apple device that you own. And it will be in a text. generally. Okay? So it's just really important that you know your Apple ID and that you know your password. And the reason, number 3, payments and shipping. I don't care if you never buy anything, if you never buy a purchased app, Apple uses the word purchased and free interchangeably in their mind when you go to download an application. You have to have a viable, working credit card in payments and shipping before you can download an application, even if it's free. Now, sometimes you'll get by with it, and like if you're in the App Store, it will let you. But I'm going to show you something where if you have a problem in the App Store, here's the problem. It's right here. It needs the security code, all right? And many times you have to enter that every single time. But if you do it, it kind of depends on their verification and security level of that particular app. But if you're having problems, the app is not downloading, it's not doing something, you're so frustrated, go back to settings, to Apple ID, this one right here, and then make sure you're in the payment and shipping section and that you've entered your security code. 99% of the time, that will clear the problem and allow you to work within Apple more. Okay? There's just a couple more things on this particular page of settings, which I said, again, is the brain of your iPad, allows you to make it look and act the way you want. I'm not going to go over every one of these, but I am going to show you a couple really useful things for you. Something that's super useful is display and brightness. If I touch display and brightness, I can make the brightness of my iPad as bright or as light, make it darker, as I want. It is a beautiful thing. It's just like on your phone. Why struggle? We have batteries, we can charge it. Turn the brightness up. The other thing that's super important, down here, text size and bold text. These two features, if you're in settings and you're in display and brightness, if you go to text size, you can change the size of the text on your screen. So as I move this little guy to the left, you'll see my little settings, all those things get tinier. And as I move it, okay, if I make it really big, then I'm not going to be able to see very much. So I keep mine about 1 past the middle. But boy, does that make a big difference, right? In addition, remember I told you about this little guy? I'm going to go back, and I'm going to go to bold text, and I'm just going to turn it, make sure it's green. If I turn it so it's gray, it's just like regular text, But if I make it bold, it makes everything brighter. Why not? Our eyes have been working for a lot of years. Give them a break. So these are just a couple of little things that I wanted to show you on this particular settings menu, because they are things that you can do. All of the things on here will help you to customize your iPad. We're not going to go through any more of them today because that's kind of, the most important ones for today. Now, I am going to hit my home button, and it's going to take me back to my home screen, right? So what we're going to learn now is how to move our applications around and how to work in the App Store so that we can have some fun. So listen first, and then you can try it. The way to move an application is to hold it down with your finger until you see a menu come up that says Edit Home Screen. Many applications will have more menu items than that, but the one you're looking for is Edit Home Screen. When I tap it, everything starts wiggling. Do you see everything wiggling on my iPad? Wiggle means action. Wiggle means you can move it. Okay, so if I want my measuring tape on my dock, say I use it a lot, this is language. I'm gonna tap it, I'm gonna hold it, I'm gonna drag it with my finger and drop it in the dock. And I'm not going to drop it until it is there. So I'm going to take it and I'm going to pull it down. You'll see it go down in a second because my screen's a little bit behind yours. Give it a sec. My iPad's a little bit behind yours, so give it 1 sec, but you'll see me move it. I moved it down.
You can just fucking hold.
Okay, so you're gonna hold on to it. So edit home screen. Measure is wiggling, and then it's gonna move. I'm moving it down to the dock and dropping it when it's in the dock. I am then tapping the middle of my iPad, and it's going to stop wiggling in just a second.
You can either do this, or you can put hold right in the middle.
I don't know why my delay is so delayed today. Sorry about that. I don't know what's happening, but it's gonna get there in a second. But it will take away all the little wiggles. It's just a little bit behind my delay. I don't know why. Okay, give me 1 sec. Let me get rid of this. All right, come on. Stop wiggling. Okay, well, it'll do it in a sec. So that's how you move an application. You simply press on the application, on the home button, and it will stop, or in the middle of the screen. So now you can see that it has stopped. If you want to move an application to another page, you simply hold it down until you see edit application. We'll do it with reminders. Okay, I'm gonna hold it down until I see, hold on a sec. I'm gonna hold it down until I see edit home screen. Not sure why this is delayed today. Maybe it's the internet connection. And you'll see in a second, reminders will start to wiggle.
You can do it on any one.
Come on, wiggle. And I'm going to drag it, as soon as it starts to wiggle, I'm going to drag it over to the side. You'll see this action happening in just a minute. Don't know why, it's so slow today. Well, anyway, reminders is going to be touched. You're going to see edit home screen, and then you're going to see it move. I'm so sorry, I don't know why my delay is, there we go. Edit home screen, it's wiggling, and I'm now going to slide it to the side, and you'll see it move over to the side. I don't want to delete it, I want to edit it. So we want to make sure that the right box comes up, edit. See there? So I'm going to grab a hold of it, and I'm going to slide it over to the side of my computer, and it is going to go to the next page. This is like so strange. Come on, go over there. Come on. Sorry about this, guys. I don't know why this delay is happening. There we go. I'm sliding, dragging, and then I dropped it in the second page. The way you drop it is you just bring it to the very edge of your iPad. And as it goes to the edge of the iPad, it will then move to the next page. And you can put it on any page you want, okay? I like to move things around. I like to keep things kind of organized. I'm kind of a neat freak. But I'm actually going to do one thing here and see if I can't get this to be a little bit speedier. I'm just going to close this. Give me a second, guys. I'm going to close this app I'm just going to talk to you for a second. But I'm going to close this and see if I can't get it to connect a little bit faster. I don't know why it's not. I don't know why it's doing this, but we'll just give it a second. Okay, we'll go to screen mirroring and we'll see. Can you guys see a little ball rolling around on my screen?
No.
No.
Okay, so this is called the ball of you know what. It's not a good ball. You've probably seen it on your computer on something. It's the wheel of hell is what it is. And it's saying that, what it's saying to me is that something is not working properly. And I'm going to quit it. I'm going to force quit it. So give me 1 second to do that because it's not responding. Okay, we'll just load that again. Even us people in the tech world have issues sometimes. So let's just get this going. And we will retry this again. Give me 1 sec, guys. I apologize. Okay, here we go. Alrighty. So now we're going to share. We're going to stop the previous share, and we're going to do a new share. With this.
Wendy,
Yep.
I noticed in the background of your screen is
Yeah.
got MacBook. Is that possibly what's taking a long time for it to load up?
So yes and no. I am using. I think I told you my computer died.
I was
So-
in your MacBook class,
No, I know.
and I'm wondering because
No,
I use Zoom, and I'm wondering what's the deal.
Yeah, no, it's not my MacBook, although, you're not wrong in that I might just close my MacBook and not. The problem is I use my MacBook whatever. Okay, you guys are back. Oh, you should be on my screen. Are you not? You're not seeing my iPad?
No.
Uh-oh, what happened? Okay, let's do this. No, it's not my iPad. I mean, I have good enough connection. I don't know what the problem is, but give me 1 sec to. There is an application I'm using called Let's View, and sometimes that application actually doesn't do so well. So I'm going to give it one more try, and then if not, we're going to just do it another way. All right, give me a sec, guys. I apologize. I like to keep my MacBook open because then I can see you guys, because otherwise everything's just too small,
Okay.
So, but here we go. I think it's going to work better now. Okay. Okay, perfect. There we go. Screen mirroring, let's view. Okay, here we go. I'll just have to share it with you. Perfect. Okay, and we'll share this again. We'll see if this will work. Okay, here we go. We're gonna try it. Can't promise, but I know that now you can see my iPad again. Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Good. Okay. I apologize about that, guys. I'm so sorry. All right. So here we go. So we're on our dock and we're on our main screen and we want to move applications. So you know the way we move them. We hold it down and then we wait till it wiggles. We go to edit home screen and we move it. Okay. So I would like to take you, unless we have questions, to the App Store and show you some things in the App Store and how that works. Are there any questions right now about where we've been?
No.
No? Okay.
What is iCloud?
What is iCloud?
Yes.
There's a class on iCloud. Get set up. iCloud is basically a external storage system that is living in Utah in a trailer or a truck or something. It's basically a way to store information that you don't want to keep actually on your hard device, so not like on your computer. So that's what iCloud is. And there's a whole class on iCloud, and it's a really important feature of Apple products, okay? So we're going to go to the App Store right now. This is the App Store. You all should have it, and I'm going to tap on it. Okay? So when I tap on it, in a second. Boy, this is just slow. I don't know why. You know what I think I might do? Well, there we go. Okay, I was gonna say I just won't use my monitor. Maybe I won't do that. Well, I think we're okay. All right, so here's our app store. So in our app store, as you can see, there are lots of different options going on. This is what Apple views as the most important to them. Okay, now it might not be what is important to you. So I'm going to go now to this little thing called apps. I'm going to touch apps. I wonder if I disconnected my screen, my monitor. All right, so I'm going to go to apps, and in 1 second, lots of apps are going to open, and they're going to be organized by something that is called like new to iPad, top free apps, things like that. So here we go. We have new to iPad. We have top free apps. We have made for kids. You'll see all of these in just a second. And what is great about the App Store is that you can search for a million different things, whatever you're interested in. And this little search bar down at the bottom here allows us to search. But what I want to talk about are the different languages that, or different things that you see on this. You see the word get. You see a cloud. Let's see what else we have here. Okay, perfect. You see something that says open, and you see something that says update. These are the 4 different words that you will see in the App Store. So I'm going to make some analogies. If you go to the library and you check out a book, you open the book, you decide I like it, you take it to the librarian and you check it out. You bring it home. That is what the process of get a book from, get an application from the App Store means. You get it, it's yours. It's tied to your Apple ID. When you get it, you will open it. Sometimes they open on their own. We're going to show you that. And then once you open it, it is yours. You can do whatever you want with it. Okay? Until you don't want it on your computer anymore. You want it to live in the cloud, you can do that too. And that is what this little cloud is all about, guys. The little cloud down here means that I have looked at this before, downloaded it, brought it home, said, I don't want it in my bookshelf, I don't have room. I want it to live in the cloud library. The beautiful thing is, it will keep it in the cloud. It will take up a little bit of cloud space, but it's tiny, tiny, tiny. They will keep it there under your name. And then it's yours, okay? And when you want it again, you just touch the cloud. But what we're going to do is we're going to go to something. So we're not going to go to get. We're going to go to open because I say I got something. So Amazon Prime Video. I'm going to go to open. I just pushed that, okay? So now it's going to take me to Prime Video, right? Because I got it from the App Store. It was free to get that. It was free to get that. However, I'm going to go back. I want to show you guys something. When I go back to the regular App Store here, there are some things that say in-app purchases. That is a very important piece of language that is next to applications. What it means is we'll let you take it home and view it. But if you want to do anything with us in that application, you need to buy it. You will be prompted multiple times to buy things if you want. And if you don't want to buy it, don't do it. You can peruse it a little. Most applications that are in-app purchases allow you to look through the application, maybe do a trial, maybe do a few things, but it's literally like a little tiny taster of the application unless you buy the application, okay? James. What? From to everyone. Oh, James, did you get that one? Did you take that? I don't have an, oh, you know why you don't have an open? I'll tell you why. You have to go to one that says get. Okay, I'll do one that says get, okay, and then you'll get to open. You probably don't. Okay, I'm gonna go, I wanna find one that's, give me a second. Okay, I'm gonna go to, that was a really good question. You wouldn't have a get unless you got something. Okay, I'm gonna go to Microsoft Lists Productivity, and I'm gonna tap get. And it is going to scroll around, and I'm gonna say install, because I wanna install it. And it is going to scroll around, and this is going to turn blue. The little circle is going to scroll around, and you're going to see a blue line begin to go around this circle, and then it's going to say open. So give me a second, it'll say open. You get, so you brought it home.
Almost done.
Oh, there's your open. Now when I open that, I think it was just the internet connectivity that was not so good because things are moving faster. When I open that, this, if I signed in, if I already had, which I do, if I had a Microsoft account, I would sign in and it would allow me to use this application. If I don't have a Microsoft account, it may not, okay? So going back, guys, to the App Store, just for purposes of looking at it, you have to remember that not everything that looks like candy is candy. There's a lot of these apps that are free to look at, but not super free to use. So if I go to my home screen and I look for that application that I just downloaded, it's right here. It's sitting right there, right? That one is, and this one is, because I just, now say I don't want it anymore. I want it to live in the cloud. I'm gonna tap it and hold it, and I'm gonna, actually I think I have to bring it out of here for a second first. So I'm gonna bring it out. Now I'm gonna hold it, hold it down, and it's going to say delete app. You're going to see that in 1 second. It's going to say delete app. See right there? If I touch delete app, what it will do.
Larger? You make that larger?
I can't make this larger. I'm so sorry. It takes the app away, right? So now if I go to my app store, guys, and I look for that application, let's see, that Microsoft Lists, it's in the cloud now, right? Because I brought it home, I checked it out, and I said, I like you, but I don't want to keep you in my bookshelf. I'd like to return you. So if I like it and I want to return it, but I'd like to get it again, it's in the cloud under my Apple ID and my password. Does everybody understand that? Just be mindful. If you accidentally buy something and you really don't want it, you can call Apple and say, I made a mistake. I do not want to buy this. I didn't mean to. But the reason that they make you put your credit card in is for that very purpose. Because if they relied on your trust to download their app before they had your credit card, I promise that wouldn't go well. You would not be able to get it, okay? And to delete permanently, that's a great question. And it's not easy to do. But I'll be happy to show you how to do it if you want it like never in the cloud again. It's a little bit advanced, but I am more than happy to show you how to do it. You want me to show you how to, who's, is it, I know this says Mick, but I'm not sure who that is.
Yes, that's,
Okay.
we don't have to do it now. I mean, if you have it in a different class, I'll go to
Okay.
it.
Well, I teach it in my intermediate iPad class because it's
Yeah, I kind of like to see how to do it.
What?
I'd like to see how to do it.
Okay, let's show you guys. Your guys are a savvy group. Let's show you how to do it. Hit my home button. Go back to my very, 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 very important settings, right? Settings. Remember how important I told you settings was? Remember how important I told you this was? So I'm going to tap my name. I am now going to tap iCloud. I am now going to go to Manage Storage. And it is going to show me all of my iCloud applications. So I can scroll up and I have a ton of them, right? They're taking up a tiny, tiny, tiny amount. All right. But if you wanted to delete it, so say that I downloaded this for another class. So if I want to delete it, I'm going to tap on it over here. And this, oops, let me move this. Sorry, guys. I'm going to tap on this arrow. And I'm going to say delete data. And then I want you to hear what it's going to say. This will delete all data for this app stored in the iPad, stored on this iPad and in the iCloud. So here's the difference. If you delete this, it is going to look to your computer like you never had it there. One of the reasons to be careful about this is if you are playing a game or you're doing something where you want to score to a certain point and then you just need to quit. Don't delete the app, because once you delete the app, it is not in the cloud under your name. If you go back into that app and you try to play the game at the level that you were at, it doesn't know that you were already there. It doesn't care that you may have been there an hour ago. It has taken your name off of that list in the cloud and it is no longer there. So if I did push delete data, delete, it will take it away. No problem there. As you can see, it's not living here anymore. It's gone from it's gone from my list, right? So it's important to not be so worried that you have too much on your iPad. I promise, guys, I don't think you're going to put too much on your iPad between now and the next class. My wish for you is to play on this iPad. Look at how wonderful James is. He already put my intermediate class up there. If you want to take my intermediate class, if you feel comfortable, you can take it. And if it's too much for you, you can go back to this one. I try to flow between giving you enough information to be comfortable on your iPad and then moving on to playing on your iPad. You guys do not need to know all the behind the scenes, what's behind the world of iPad in order to use it. That's my job. And I need to just teach you how to use it and have fun with it. What I love about my intermediate class is that I let you ask questions, and that is 90% of the class. I have a lot to teach you, but I don't know what you want to know. If you want to know something about Bluetooth, if you want to know something about how I monitor my screen time, if you want to know about photos, I will direct you and I will teach you how to get at least to that, and we will learn a little bit about it. The beautiful thing about the beginner class is it's I don't know what I don't know, right? Because we don't know what we don't know. So that's what I love about the beginner class, is that you just get to listen and watch and learn and then try it. My goal is that you've learned enough to play, have fun, move around, share with me next time how empowered you are about what you did on your iPad, just stuff like that. Just play with it. Go to settings and try all these different things. Click on them. See what they do. See what, see what you can find. I mean, wallpaper is fun. Accessibility has lots of different things. Your control center is super important, but not something I'm going to talk about now. It's just that it's really important that you play around on your iPad and push buttons. You can't do any harm. I will say that iPad doesn't save things the way a computer does. I mean, it does, but like if you like are taking notes. So for example, if I open my notes application, right? It has all my notes because it saves it without my saying save, but it's not quite like a computer where it's going to remember everything. All right, we don't really in computers very much anymore have to go to save. It just kind of saves it. Okay? So anyway, that is, let's see. That is all I've got on that. Now I'm going to go back to sharing a little bit more of my other world with you.
Wendy, I have a question.
Yeah.
I know you covered this earlier, but you said for the iPad, we should use a certain adapter.
Yeah. Do you want me to show it to you?
Yes, the wide one.
Yeah, it's this one. It is this adapter. It's a big block.
Okay, now that's what I'm using, but it's getting very hot.
I know, mine is too.
Oh, okay. I figured, well, then I must be doing the wrong one. Okay.
Yeah, no, you're doing it right. It's getting hot. They all get hot. I don't know why. But so here's the thing, guys. Thank you for taking this class. Please come back. Please share, get set up with your friends. Get set up. Please let everybody know that we, are here to help you. If there's a class you want to take and you don't see it, make a suggestion. If there is something that you are really great at and you'd like to be an ambassador for one of our social hours or something, let us know that. I teach, like I said, a lot of tech classes. I teach iPad, I teach Apple, Mac classes. I teach an introduction to the sort of Microsoft world on Mac. And then I teach some health and wellness classes that I really like. So come back to me, come back to anybody, and let us know what you think. So I will put in the notes that I send to you the number for Apple support. They're wonderful. If you have a question between now and the next time you take this class and you just really want it answered, call them. Most of the time, if it's not software specific, so to speak, they will help you. Sometimes you get nicer people than others, but it's a support line that everyone can call. You don't have to have Apple Care. It's just a support line. And that's all I've got. So thank you for being here. Please go have a great day. And we'll talk to you soon. And thank you to James for all his fabulous help today. We love having our TAs. They always are so helpful. And have a great day, guys.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.